Okay, Panthers, we are taking a look at section 4.1, which deals with divisibility. Our lesson objective for today is to be able to use our divisibility rules. And basically, divisibility rules are kind of a shortcut, especially when we're looking at dividing larger numbers. And there's a couple of vocabulary terms here that we need to make sure we know. The first one is divisible. So before we begin, make sure you have your notes in front of you and a writing utensil. And as I go through the vocabulary here, you may want to pause the video, that way you can get your definition down before moving on. Our first term, divisible, if you want to find it in your textbook, can be found on page 164. And it means that a number can be divided by a number without, there's your key word, without leaving a remainder. So in other words, if I were to do a long division problem, my divisor would go evenly into my dividend without any remainder. A composite number is a number greater than 1 so it does not include 1, any number greater than 1 that is divisible, there's that new word, by more than 2 numbers. So one thing we learned in elementary school were factors, which are numbers that when you multiply create a number. But if I had the number 12 and I think of all the numbers that 12 is divisible by, in other words, numbers that go evenly into 12, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. So these are numbers that 12 is divisible by 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And 12 would be considered a composite number because it meets this definition. It is a number that's greater than 1, and it is divisible by more than 2 numbers. So it's divisible by 3 or more numbers. Our last definition here is prime number. A prime number is a whole number, so it has no decimals or fractions. It's a whole number greater than 1 that is divisible by only the number 1, because everything's divisible by 1, the number 1 and itself. Prime numbers are important to understand because these are numbers that typically, if we have them, we're trying to divide, there aren't any numbers that they are divisible by. An example of a prime number would be 13. Can you think of the numbers that go into 13 evenly? Well, 1 is always a possibility for every number, right? And of course 13, but can you think of any other numbers? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? There aren't any other numbers. So we call this a prime number because it is only divisible by the number 1 and itself. And if you learn your prime numbers, it becomes easier that when you recognize them in fractions, and we're looking at simplifying fractions and putting them in lowest terms, often you can catch yourself from going through all the procedures and trying to figure out what to divide by, because you know that prime numbers can only be divisible by 1 in itself. So Panthers, again, go ahead and pause the video if you need to. Make sure you have this down. As always, what I write down, you write down. And let's go ahead and continue. And having some troubles here with the screen. Here we go. So example 1, we're going to look at these divisibility rules. there's rules that we're going to learn for the number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. And we're going to make a note card of these, so no worries, but let's go ahead and fill this in. The first divisibility rule is for the number 2. A number is divisible by 2 if the last digit, in this case 2, is an even number. Okay, the last digit 2. So we're looking at this number here, 462. The last digit is a 2. It is even, and therefore 462 can be divided by 2 evenly. Okay. The rule for 3. The sum of the digits. So we have the number 462. You take the sum of the digits, so you add up each digit. 4 plus 6 plus 2, we get 12. If this sum is divisible by 3, here you go, 12 is divisible by 3, and so that I also know that 462 can be divided by 3 evenly. That's good to know. The rule for 4. You look at the last 2 digits in your number. So if you look back up at 462, the last 2 digits are 6 and 2, or 62. What you have to know for this one, does 4 go evenly into 62? Well, let's count from 40s. We know 4 goes into 40, so it'd be 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60, 64. It is not divisible by 4, and so what we know is that 462 cannot be divided by 4 evenly. And the last one is 5. We've talked about this one. This one, you look at the last digit. The last digit of 462 is a 2. The last digit must be a 0 or 5 for the divisibility rules, and because it is not, 462 is not divisible by 5. Okay, those are our rules. So if we go back and take a look, Panthers, we know that 462 is divisible by both 2 and 3. Let's move on. Now let's look at another number, 540, and let's look at the divisibility rules for 6, 9, and 10. Let's start with 6. The rule for 6 is that the number you're looking at, in this case 540, must be divisible by both 2 and 3. So Panthers, let's remind ourselves, the rule for 2 is that the last digit, in this case is a 0, must be even. Is 0 an even number? Yes. The other rule for 3 is that if you add up the digits, so 5 plus 4 plus 0 gives us 9. Panthers, does 3 go evenly into that sum of 9? The answer is yes. So when the number is divisible by both 2 and 3, we also know it's divisible by 6. I want you to think about, what does 2 and 3 have to do with 6? Take a look at 9. 9 is very much like the rule for 3 in that you have to find the sum of the digits. So again, we just did that. 5 plus 4 plus 0 is 9. This number is divisible by 9 if 9 can go into the sum. And 9 is divisible by 9. So 9 also goes into 540 evenly. And the last one, 10. We know this. The last digit must be a 0. Panthers, is it? Yes, it is. So 540 can be divided, or is divisible, by 6, 9, and 10. Let's take a look at some prime and composite numbers now, Panthers. Looking at example 2. tell whether each number is prime or composite. Here what we're going to have to do is make a list of factors, or the numbers that go evenly into these. So let's start with A23. We always know that 1 will work with every single number because anything can be divisible by 1. Does 2 go evenly into 23? Nope, it's not an even number. Does 3 go into it? Well, 2 plus 3 is 5. 3 does not go into 5, so 3 doesn't work. 4 doesn't work. 5, 6, 7, 8, nope, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. When you get to like the halfway mark of this number, you can stop. So the other number that goes into it is 23. Panthers, we call this a composite number because it only has 2 factors, and they are 1 and itself. Take a look at B. Let's think of all the numbers that go into B. Well, obviously 1 does. 2 does as well because it's an even number. If I add up the sums, the digits, 4 plus 8 equals 12. Does 3 go into 12 evenly? It does. So I know 3 does. I know 4 does because of our math facts. I also know that 6 and 8 go into it because of our math facts. I know 12 goes into it, once again, because of our math facts. We have this factor of 3, so we'd have to figure out how many times 3 goes into it. So 48 divided by 3 would be 16. Half of 48 is 24. And then, of course, we have itself. Now, Panthers, because this has several factors, it's definitely more than 2. Oh, I apologize. This is a composite. Mrs. McNally is losing her mind. Go back up to this first one. This is called a prime number. My goodness. Take a look at C. C, once again, 31. The only factors that go into it are 1 in itself, so this is a prime number. And 18, we have 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. So this clearly has more than 2 factors. This would be called composite. Panthers, you don't have to do the try it. It is optional. If you'd like to do it and see how you're doing, that would be great. Otherwise, thank you and have a great day.